3, 2, 1, go.
What's going on, Wise Take Nation? This is an MLB DFS podcast. I am your host, Paulie D, and I'm joined by my good friend, CashinDFS. What's going on, Cash?
Not a damn thing. Lost on DK today for the first time in a little minute.
Baseball or basketball?
Baseball. I didn't play basketball today. But I didn't mean to catch on FanDuel. So, whatever.
Yeah,
Thanks
it was an ugly slate. In the
Tucker
night.
saved me.
Braves, Tucker, yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of an ugly slate. Wasn't like many attractive pitchers, especially for DraftKings. We had to pick two. There's a bunch of offensive spots I liked. They all kind of did well, but I pitched Tyon in my one team that I built, so it didn't do too well. And
I pitched Anderson, which that didn't go well either.
No, at least he got a win though, right?
Yeah, he did, but still sucked. And then they took Ricky out early, which that sucked.
Yep. But I mostly played NBA. Did not have a very good night. Think I was on it up until Embiid got ruled in. That just changed so much of the slate. Ended up playing a bunch of Hassan Whiteside, which was a huge mistake, and really did not see New Orleans blowing Portland out like that in kind of a do-or-die game for Portland. Really impressed with New Orleans, man. I think, they're going to get the winner of Golden State series, which is probably going to be Golden State. I think they could beat them if, Curry's rusty, Curry doesn't come back. They are really impressive right now.
They could for sure.
But we got a massive baseball slate.
Hold on. Just imagine if they had Boogie. Oh my God.
That's I said that to you the other night. Like they, Mirotic is awesome though. Like I don't even know how they would all fit, but wow, Mirotic was on fire tonight. Crazy good. And Lillard, the whole Portland team just looks nothing like they did in the regular season. It is a tough matchup for him. Like Nurkic kind of becomes useless against AD. He's scared to do any of his offense, and they're relying so much on Dame's outside shooting, and Drew Holiday guards him up close, and it's not as easy to hit those shots. So we'll see. But let's talk baseball. We got a big slate, 15 games. Took a quick peek. We got some of the best arms in baseball going tomorrow. We have some of the worst with opening up some bad spots. I got to open up my screen here. Boston Red Sox
won't even open for me.
Yeah.
What about Boston? I always love to hear you talk about Boston.
They won again. They're doing well.
Damn
Continuing staying hot. Which I'm glad about. JD Martinez, though, I told you this early at the beginning of the year, like that was a great pickup. He's crushing right now, and it is not fun seeing how good he's doing. But the Yanks won today too. We're finally over 500. We haven't had as good of a start as Boston has, but I think things are going to come together for us too, and it'll be a fun race this year.
Like I told you before the show, I'm not happy about what Boston's doing because it's just too early to be doing this. Like I want this to be happening later on in the year.
August, September, sure. It's all about guys staying healthy, and the one weakness Boston does have is starting pitching, and like if a guy like Sale were to get hurt, like then it's real ugly. So definitely got to stay healthy, got to improve the bullpen, and probably need to bring in somebody mid-year to like anchor that staff. Although I do like this kid Erod, but he's been known to be injury prone too.
Pomerantz. I pitched Pomerantz yesterday. He looks way better than last year.
Who was it against Angels? I mean,
yeah, he was good in 2016, and then he kind of fell off last year. But he looks pretty dang good right now.
He's got some good stuff. He's never really put it together for a full year, but if he were to, then that'd be a big help. But all right, I got my thing up. You ready to go through this?
Let's do it.
All right, 15 games. First game we got is the Kansas City Royals and Jason Hamill taking on the Detroit Tigers and Michael Fulmer. The Tigers are minus.
Are they pitching the late game or the early game?
Oh, you're right.
I think they're
You're right.
going
This
the
is a 1
early.
o'clock game. You're right. You are correct.
It's Bundy. Hold on. Who's playing? Kansas City.
Kansas City, Detroit, but that's a 1 o'clock game.
Okay, yeah. Who is the late game, or who is the late pitchers?
I don't know. I don't know if that's on the slate either.
Yeah, it is.
It is? Oh, yeah, I got it. Yeah, Jake Junis, and Daniel.
Oh,
Norris.
yeah. That's right. It's CK's dude.
Yeah, we'll get back to that, though. We got 2 games before it. 7:05 start. The Pittsburgh Pirates and Ivan Nova taking on the Philadelphia Phillies and Ben Lively. This game is about a pick'em, and the total right now is 8.5, and there's a 10-mile-per-hour wind in from center. Any interest here?
No interest in pitching. Lively is garbage, so I could stack Pittsburgh. But the thing that does suck is old dude is out. What's his name? Second baseman. I always forget his name.
For Pittsburgh?
Harrison.
Oh, okay.
He's a really important guy for me in that lineup. I think that when he's going good, the whole lineup goes. So with him out, it kind of sucks. Who led off today? Isn't it Frazier or
Frazier led off today? Frazier definitely led off today.
Okay, yeah. He'll lead off again. So like the top of the order, the 1 through 4, 1 through 5 is okay, just because Lively's so bad, but this is a huge slate. You're gonna have to get stuff right.
Yeah, I mean, on this big of a slate, like maybe you could take a look at one of these teams. I doubt you're ever looking at a game stack, and there's probably better spots somewhere else in the slate. But
yeah, I don't want to stack Philly though. Like Hoskins really it for me, or maybe I could stack Pittsburgh, but probably not.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna play Pittsburgh, you got to look at like the core of that order: Polanco, Dickerson, Bell, Marte. I actually think I'd prefer Philly over Pittsburgh here. Nova's a fly ball pitcher. It's a small field, but it's going to be cold. This game's probably a pass for me, but if I did stack a team, it would be Philly, and I'm not using any of these pitchers. So let's move on. Next game is the Toronto Blue Jays and Marco Estrada taking on Sonny Gray and my New York Yankees. The Yanks are minus 185 favorite. And we have a 9 total. There's also a 12-mile-per-hour wind blowing out to right field, but 48-degree temperatures. What do you think here?
What's the wind you said?
12 miles per hour blowing to right.
Be hard to pitch Estrada today. Ooh, that's very risky. I like the Yankees. He's a fly ball pitcher. In this stadium with this lineup, you could give me Judge, you could give me Gary, you could give me Stanton. And matter of fact, I think I want to play Stanton. These stupid fans boo him like they expected him to come in and bat 400 for them or something. He's cold, there's no doubt about it, but he doesn't have to be hot to hit 2 home runs. All you guys do is just put the barrel on the ball, and it's going to go over the fence against Estrada most likely. Mm-hmm. But they are expensive, and it's a massive slate. But those are the 3. And then Didi. Didi's awesome.
Love Didi. So today, the Yanks moved Stanton out of the 3 and down to the 4. Didi batted 3rd. That's kind of interesting.
I think that's the way it should be. I thought that was the way it should have been from jump.
Maybe even Judge batting 3rd, though, and Didi batting 2nd, but whatever. I do like the righty thing. Gary Sanchez.
I think that they should separate Judge and Stanton. I don't think they should be back to back.
I do agree with that. Gary Sanchez has great BVP versus Guy. I like him a lot. I like the whole Yankees lineup, but like you said, they're expensive. It's going to be hard to fit them if you're looking to pay up a pitcher. Sonny Gray, I haven't really figured out if I think he's good or not yet. This Toronto team's semi-hot. I don't mind guys like Curtis Granderson coming back to New York. Oscar Hernandez, one of my favorite young players. Justin Smoke. Like, you could game stack this. I probably wouldn't use either of these pitchers.
I have a little interest in Sonny Gray. How many sliders does he throw? What percentage?
It's a really good question. I will find
And I
out.
do like Hernandez. That kid is really good.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And he's really cheap on DK.
What is Gray's price on FanDuel?
Gray on FanDuel. Let me go look. This FanDuel is not opening up for me for some reason. Where is Gray on this freaking stupid? Gray is 8-2 on FanDuel.
8-2, and what's Kershaw, like 12?
Max is 11-4.
Okay, so
I think Kershaw's a little more.
he throws only 16% sliders. He
That's
throws
not a lot.
34% sinkers, 12% knuckle curves, 28% 93 mile per hour fastballs, and 8% changeups. Not a ton of the sliders.
Probably not for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't go there. I mean, maybe you're in line for the win. We'll see what kind of ump we get, but I don't think this is the spot. Like, probably not for me. Not on DraftKings, at least. Maybe on FanDuel where you're getting the win and saving some money, but probably not. Let's move on. Cleveland Indians taking on the Baltimore Orioles. Another bunch of good pitchers here. We got Trevor Bauer taking on Dylan Bundy. Right now, the Indians are minus 120 favorites, and the total is 8. There's a 9 mile per hour wind blowing in from left and 51-degree temperature here. Any interest in either side or these pitchers?
Well, I can't pitch Bundy today. I just don't pitch dudes against Cleveland. It's just something I don't do. Kind of like Houston. Houston's cold right now. I pitched against them a couple times, but I don't normally like to pitch against Cleveland. And it's the O's, so I am interested in Bauer. Like, he can strike dudes out.
Mm-hmm.
So I got interest there for sure. And Pedro Alvarez should be batting somewhere towards the top.
Yeah, he batted second today, I think.
He should make the lineup today. At a cheap price, I know he has home run upside, so maybe I could go there. But he could also strike out 3 times, so that's a plus for Bauer too. But I like Bauer some. This is a huge slate, man. There's a lot of pitching, and I don't think Bauer will be very popular. And he does have strikeout stuff.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be popular either. He's 9-4 on DK. That makes him the 5th highest priced pitcher.
That would lower his ownership even more on DK.
On the road against a good pitcher in Dylan Bundy, who's cheaper. I don't know if the win is very reliable. Like, he'd be hard for me to pitch on FanDuel also. I like what I've seen from Dylan Bundy, but I agree I don't want to take him, and Cleveland seems to be heating up. I don't know. I mean, I don't really think I'm going to do much here. This game seems like a pass. I know Manny Machado's got great numbers versus Bauer. Like, I don't mind top of the order Baltimore stack, but it's nowhere near my favorite spot.
Yeah, and Bauer is scary too. Like,
he
can get crushed as well.
Yeah. He's a 5-hole pitcher.
Tournament. It's just a tournament. Like, you don't ever use him in cash.
Yeah, and if it's a bad umpire for pitchers, don't even do it, in my opinion. Next game, we've got the Minnesota Twins taking on the Tampa Bay Rays. We've got the ace, Chris Archer, taking on Lance Lynn. The Rays are actually favored minus 118, and right now this game has a 7.5 total. It will be under the dome, so no weather impact. What's your thoughts?
Let me see. What is Archer's price compared to Bauer? Where is he? Oh, he's even cheaper. I like Archer more. I don't like to attack Minnesota, but Archer is one of my dudes. I love this guy.
especially at home.
Yes. And they're coming back from Puerto Rico, so maybe it affects them some. They will strike out, but they also could be very good. But Archer is just one of my dudes. He just has massive K upside every time he tells the rubber. So
Yeah, he hasn't looked great so far this year. He's given up a home run in every start. He's been walking guys. He's thrown 80 to 100 pitches. So if he's doing well, I think he'll go deep. But I'm gonna need a good ump. Would like to see somebody ugly thrown into this lineup instead of a star. But I don't know. It's like he definitely is a GPP guy. Definitely not a cash pitcher. Lance Lynn, maybe he's in the SP2 conversation, but doubtful.
how much is he?
He's 6'4" on DK.
6'4".
Yeah. I mean, the Rays can strike out. If he's got a very good ump, he's pretty tough to righties. That's where most of the good bats are on the Rays. Maybe an SP2 on DK if you're looking to go Kershaw or Scherzer with a cheap pitcher. Maybe,
I mean, the good thing about it, he shouldn't get rocked.
Yeah.
They might single him to death, but he's not gonna get rocked. I don't think. So he's pretty safe at that price.
Yeah, let me just take a quick.
I just don't like that guy.
I don't like Lynn either, but if the lineup's very righty heavy, which it very well could be, you could definitely take a shot on him. He struck out 9 guys last game against Houston, also walked 4, but if he can strike out 9 Houston Astros, he can definitely strike out 9 Rays. At that cheap price, you're looking for 12 to 15 points on DK. I actually don't mind it. I didn't think I would say that, but I'm just thinking about how I'm going to be building a roster on this slate, and I want to pay up for one of those good pitchers. He does fit the SP2. And then if you're going to go Archer, then you can have 2 pretty decent pitchers. You could do an Archer Bundy or Archer, someone to be named later, and have 2 high upside starters. Probably not looking at the bats on either of these teams, right?
No. But I definitely like Archer a lot more on FanDuel, where their prices are not that different, but Lynn is so cheap. He's pretty good on DK. Archer's only 8K on FanDuel, man.
Yeah, he's about the same on DK.
He's 8.8. But Lynn is 7.1 on FanDuel, and he's 6.4 on DK.
Yeah, that's a little harder. I don't know if I can go Lynn on FanDuel today.
No way.
Even though you can get a full Yankees and someone's stack, it's just you're gonna need a pitcher. One of these aces is gonna drop a 50 to 60, so you're gonna need even a cheap pitcher to get you 35 to 45. And I don't know. I think we'll find something better in later on the slate. Next game we've got. Here's the Royals versus the Detroit Tigers. Jake Junis taking on Daniel Norris. This game's about a pick'em, and the total right now is 8.5. 44-degree temps. Second game of a doubleheader, so make sure to check the lineups, and no real wind impact. Any interest here?
Yeah, oh yeah. I got interest. I got a lot of interest in CK's dude, Junis. A lot of interest because it's the second game of a doubleheader, so usually the best lineup goes out in the first one, and guys sit on the second one.
Yeah.
He dominated this team earlier this year. I like him a lot. He's one of my favorite pitchers today, for sure.
What's his price?
And that's it. I don't know because I don't see him in this projected.
I'm
seeing the first game.
Yep. And even on DK, they actually have Jason Hamill and Daniel Norris, so we'll have to see. But if Jake Junis does pitch this game as Fantasy Labs is projecting, I could deal with that. Actually, Lab says he's going to be 8.3. That's high.
On DK? What about FanDuel?
Let me see.
8.3 is high. I was expecting in the 7s.
FanDuel. He is 8.5 on FanDuel.
I like it better though. But I like him over there, but it's hard to fit him in if you want to go up to the studs.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Daniel
But
Norris
it is a
can
huge
get in.
slate, so I mean we will have value bets, but yeah.
I think the Kansas City stack is interesting, right? Like if you're gonna pay up for a stud pitcher, go cheap with SP2, then play like a team like the Yankees, you're gonna need a value stack. Like you could get guys like Soler, Cuthbert, Paolo, Orlando. So that's about it. Maybe Drew
My
Butera. Get
my
crazy.
favorite one is Moose.
Yeah, moves against
He
a
hits
lefty.
lefties well.
With Merrifield too, profiles out
That's
well.
that's my two favorite ones, probably Merrifield and Moose. Moose
They're
hits
expensive.
lefties well.
They're expensive.
Moose is expensive.
Yeah, Moose is 4.2. Merrifield is 4K. You know,
Moose is going to be 2% owned, 1%.
Absolutely.
And CK doubted me last time he was against a lefty, hit a home run. He can hit a home run off a lefty, but he's 4K. Ugh,
Yeah.
that sucks.
Yeah, like if they were a little cheaper, it would really fit nicely. But now it's like they're like those two guys especially are as expensive as premier guys on teams in amazing spots. I mean, the Royals are projected for 4.2. That's not very high, but not horrible. We got to see their lineup too. We don't know who's going to be in their lineup.
Yeah,
so.
Moose could definitely sit the second game.
Yeah.
Duda probably sits one at least for sure.
Yep. So we got to see, but maybe there's a nice value stack out of the Royals if some of those guys sit. Tigers seem to be heating up too. I really like the top of their order: Leonis Martin, Heimer, Candelario, Miggy, Castellanos, those guys. But I just don't think I'll go there, and I doubt they're all in this lineup. They played a day game today. Like you said, they'll probably have the A team in the first game, and then we'll see. But I do like some of those guys if they are in that. If they're in the lineup, even against Jake Junis. But again, unlikely. There's just better spots. Next game. This is very interesting pitching duel here. We got the New York Mets, CK's New York Mets, and Thor Syndergaard taking on the Atlanta Braves and Sean Newcomb. This game is in Atlanta, A-Town all day. No wind, 64-degree temperatures. And the Mets are minus 135 favorites. What do you think here, dude?
I'm not pitching Thor. I don't pitch expensive righties against Atlanta. I just don't do it.
Okay.
It burns me with Max. Max went out and dominated. Max was on fire that day.
True.
I can't do it. And Thor is a beast. Thor is awesome. He hasn't been great this year, but his last game he was really good. But I just don't do it. I just can't pay the price. If he goes out and just dominates, then I'll move on. But Atlanta just doesn't strike out enough for me, and they got a ton of lefties, and I just don't do it. And Newcomb, probably not.
See, I think Newcomb's kind of interesting.
Oh yeah, I mean he is kind of interesting. I mean they let this kid dominate them today. That sucks a big bag of D's.
Yeah, Whistler.
Absolutely terrible against lefties, and you're just mowing them down.
Yeah, so I mean, good umpire. We like the Mets against righty. He's a lefty. I could take a stab here, depending on the lineup.
I really
7.4 price on DK. It's in the conversation. If he gets a really good ump, I could definitely do this.
You could, but I do really like Frazier. Like I could play Frazier, Flores, or Cespedes, but Frazier's hot and Frazier masses lefties, so I like Frazier a good amount. Like, he is very expensive.
Yeah, I got to take a look at the profile. It's hard to pay 4.3 for Frazier on this slate, especially.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be looking to stack for the most part. I do agree with you. Like, you could do a Cespe, Flores, Frazier stack, see if anyone else is in there that's a righty. But I respect this kid Newcomb. I like the way he's looked this year. And, no wind. I don't know. I don't think I'll have too much Met stacks.
You want to pitch Thor against them?
I think I will have some. Like, I don't think anyone's going to pitch Thor with Scherzer, Kershaw, Verlander, like Archer, I think he's going to be really low owned. And I think Thor's a guy, just like Scherzer, that if he's on, he can strike out 12 guys against any team. And like in tournaments, I'm going to be building multiples. I'll probably have like 15 to 20% of him. Just like you got Scherzer versus Kershaw, they could almost like, neutralize each other by neither one getting the win. Like who knows what happens there. Then it's like Verlander's in a good spot, but I think Thor's going to be really low owned. If he's got a very good ump and, we'll take a look at this lineup, like I'm not just going to say no to him just yet. We'll see. We'll see how the line moves, see what kind of umpire he gets. I like both these pitchers. And Newcomb at 7.4 is definitely in play in the SP2 conversation on DK.
Don't play Jay Bruce right now. Jay Bruce is lost.
There's no way I'm playing Jay Bruce tomorrow.
I mean, definitely not tomorrow, but even in a great matchup, just don't play Jay Bruce right now. He's lost. Don't play him.
I concur. But interesting. I'm definitely, check tomorrow to see where we're at with those two arms, but they're definitely in play right now.
Well, I can tell you right now, Paulie, you will not be able to convince me to change my mind on Thor. That won't happen.
All right. I mean, I don't disagree with that either. I just think like, you don't build like a ton of teams, but if you were, I think, he's worth a shot. Like,
yeah,
would you be shocked if he's the highest scoring pitcher tomorrow?
No. If I was building 10 teams, then I would at least have one.
Yeah. The Mets pitched Dark Knight tonight, so the bullpen got a workout today. They get like they might be looking to, get them a little rest, let him go a little deeper if he's on. I can see it actually. Next game we got is the Seattle Mariners and Felix Hernandez taking on the Texas Rangers and Mike Minor. Right now, the Rangers are -120 favorites. The run total is 9, and there is a 14-mile-per-hour wind blowing in from center, which is kind of insignificant in this park. What do you like here?
Wow. King Felix is an underdog to Mike Minor. Like, that's where we're at these days.
Times have changed.
He has fallen off a cliff.
Yeah.
Wow. I never thought I would ever hear that, but I don't want to pitch Felix Hernandez. There's no way. There's no way I'm pitching Mike Minor. So I'll say a big no to either pitcher. I like Seattle a lot, especially Cruz, of course. It's a lefty.
Yeah.
It's a lefty who's not very good. I love Nelson Cruz. I love the park upgrade for Seattle. I love Haniger. I think Zunino is really close to returning. If he returns tomorrow, that would be marvelous. Oh yeah. Where's Zunino at? How much is Zunino?
3.3 on DK.
3.3. That sucks. I wish it was cheaper because he ain't played in a while. I thought he might be cheaper. I like him. He crushes lefties. I could even play Seager. He still has power. Canoa's okay against the lefty, but really like Cruz, really like Haniger, really like Segura, and really like Zunino. And he will probably be batting 8th. So at that price, batting 8th, he shouldn't carry any ownership. He hasn't played yet. I don't think Zunino carries no ownership, and he has double dong upside against this lefty right here.
Definitely does. I wouldn't go too heavy building multiples just because you never know. He could easily go over 4 too, but I don't mind it. I don't mind the Seattle stack at all. Not my favorite, but I'll probably have a little bit. Any interest in the Rangers side?
Chu is heating up, so I like Chu. I like Gallo. Maybe you could go Mazzara, but those two are my favorite, and maybe Mazzara, but that's probably it.
Yeah, I mean, this Rangers lineup is getting uglier and uglier by the day, and none of them are even really hot. Like, I think it would almost be like a one-off situation rather than a stack, like a Chu or a Gallo one-off. That's really it. I think, I want to pick on Felix. I just can't see this team going nuts. I mean, I don't even know half of these players. Like, I mean, I know them, but like, I don't know how good they are. I don't know much about them. They are really cheap though, so maybe that works. In that same theory where you get two, really expensive pitcher and then a decent one, and the Yankees stack with this Rangers in a good park against a bad pitcher. Maybe, but I'm not thrilled about it.
There's a value bet I like here too. I don't know how to pronounce his first name, but Heredia.
Guillermo.
Last time I liked him, he did hit a home run, I believe in Kansas City too.
Yeah, he's good for a homer every now and then.
He's 2-1 on FanDuel. He's 2-5 on DK. So that's like a salary play if you need salary.
Mm-hmm.
He's okay. I don't think he's gonna go out and get you a 0. He's gonna be low in the order.
Other guys, he's probably gonna bat 7th, but if you're gonna do like the all righty stack, Segura, Nelson, Hanninger, Heredia, Zanino, like throw him in too. Add some savings. I'm cool with that. I like that call. But yeah, I mean, definitely Seattle is one of the better stacks we've talked about so far, and definitely none of these pitchers. Next game we got is the Houston Astros and Justin Verlander taking on James Shields, and the Chicago White Sox. He did pitch like an inning in relief 2 nights ago, so take a look. Maybe someone else gets called up to start. They do a bullpen game. We'll see. Right now, I got no line, probably because of James Shields. No total. What do you think? 43-degree temperature, minimal winds blowing in. What do you think here?
Verlander. Because Max and Kershaw is facing each other, I think that puts Justin Verlander as my favorite pitcher today.
Mm-hmm.
The White Sox he's a righty. He's a very good righty. I like Justin Verlander. I think he's my favorite pitcher of the day. James Shields. I hope he does start after throwing that little 1 inning. If he starts, I might have to play Houston today, even though they've been cold, and I jumped off, like I jumped ship a while ago. But I think they are starting to swing the bats better. Like, McCann and what's his name? I always forget his name. Reddick hit one today. I seen it. I got a notification. It was today or yesterday he hit one. Those are probably my favorite 2 bats here, but you could always stack them up. If James Shields pitches, you could stack all of them.
Yeah, and especially the lefties, so like McCann and Reddick and whoever else may make this lineup. I definitely have interest in the Astros. I think they're heating up. They scored like 8 today, 7 the day before. Pitching against a pitcher who just threw recently. I definitely have interest. I like Verlander too. I agree. I think he's going to be pretty popular. Like, what's not to like, righty with K upside against the White Sox. I do have respect for this White Sox lineup. They just continue to impress me. So I don't know if Verlander will be my highest owned guy, but I will have exposure to him, and he's probably cash game viable as well. And I do like the Houston bats, all of them.
You like Moncada?
I do like Moncada. Jose Abreu's got pretty good BVP against Verlander. I like Nicky Delmonico every day. Like, I'm not going to go too heavy on Verlander just because this lineup scares me a little bit. It is cold, so I will have some. And if he has a really good ump, that'll increase it. But he's expensive. $12K for Verlander. I don't love that, but I do think he'll be in line for the win. Definitely have some.
Oh my God, Delmonico is almost min price on FanDuel.
I mean, he's been terrible so far, but I like that kid. He's got talent. He
does have talent. Moncada is my favorite bat if I was gonna have a one-off against Justin Verlander, but I wouldn't do that. I would play a couple of them probably.
Yeah, I mean, on a smaller slate, they'd be more merit to it. I just don't. Even if they do get to him a little bit, like I just don't see the White Sox being in the top 3 highest scoring offenses, tomorrow. So I won't have much. unless I was going like 100% Verlander, then I'd hedge a little. Next game we got so far, like even though there's all these top names and big bats, I haven't really liked too much. Like I love this tomorrow. There's not much hitting wise and pitching.
You don't like the Yankees?
I do. I like the Yanks, but I think they're going to be really chalky, and like that's like the only spot that I sort of really like so far. And the
Astros. I think Seattle's my favorite right now.
Yeah, and they're probably my second, but I hope that they're not when we finish this. We got the Marlins taking on the Brewers. Trevor Richards versus Yulis Chassin. The Brewers are minus 157 favorites, and we have a 9 total. The Brewers have a 5.1 implied total. They went off today. What do you think?
Well, I think I wish I would have had them. I did love them, but didn't have it. I like the Brewers again. Trevor Richards is a better pitcher than old dude today, Peters, but I like it, especially Thames. He's crushing right now. I could stack them for sure, but at the same time, they will strike out a ton. So Richards might be a cheap option K upside. He could be. I mean,
only SP2 though, right?
Yes. No, I mean I could if I was making multiple donkey teams, but on my main team, nah, I won't do that. But anytime a pitcher faces Milwaukee, they have K upside. But also, they just went off today, and they could do the same.
Yep, they're getting healthy. Yelich was back in there. Braun hit a pinch hit home run.
Yeah, that pissed me off. But Kane really went off, and he was one of my favorite plays of the day.
Kane did go off. I don't know. I don't think I'll have much Richards. I do like the thought. If it was a smaller slate, I'd probably agree with you more. I just hope.
Yeah, I'm not saying I really like it. It's just
I agree. It's
huge tournament
just like
play.
The dude above that we talked about, Lance Lynn. Like you never really want to pitch him, but got to make some exceptions, especially in tournaments. Any interest in like the Marlins? Like Justin Bour, maybe Derek Dietrich.
Bour and Real Muto. That's it.
Yeah,
it's probably gonna be like that most days.
Yep. Yeah, and that's like not enough for a full stack. I mean, maybe you could throw Dietrich in there and do a 3-man.
Dietrich's okay. Like he could hit a home run here. I mean.
Yeah, and I think Bour is like an option as a one-off cheap first baseman, but that's it.
He's he's an option as a one-off every single day because he just has home run upside. He's just
and he's so cheap,
so powerful,
so cheap. Like on this slate, that could really help. And I do like Milwaukee. I think they're going to be pretty popular. I don't think I'll have a ton, but I'll have a little bit. Like you got to have a little against a rookie pitcher with the team heating up. Next game we got is the Cincinnati Reds, who fired their coach today, and Brandon Finnegan taking on the St. Louis Cardinals and Michael Wacha. The Cardinals are minus 195 favorites, and we've got an 8.5 total here. 8-mile-per-hour winds blowing in from center, and the temperature is about 50 degrees. What do you like here?
I mean, it seems like I like no pitchers. Like. Mm-hmm. Where's a pitcher that I like today?
We got a couple more games though. So
Finnegan, I would say maybe, but it's St. Louis, and I'm not gonna do that. Wacha never. The Reds, they've just been really bad. Like I think they got shut out twice in a row in Milwaukee, and I was all over them one day, and they're just bad right now. The manager should have been fired because they're really bad. St. Louis though, is Pham gonna be out or?
He's got a Q tag. He's in the projected, but he is questionable.
If he's in, I could stack here.
Mm-hmm.
If he's out, then I'll probably just try to get some one-offs like Jose Martinez, I love. I'm gonna love him pretty much every day. I love him here.
especially against the lefty.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite bats so far. Um, I'm just a big fan of St. Louis's lineup. That's me. I mean, I love Jed Jerko. I love that guy. I love to play him. He's super cheap. I hope he's in the lineup because I would definitely like to use him as a one-off. But Molina's been hot. Carpenter's lefty on lefty. I like Fam Martinez Jerko if he's able to make it. DeJong has doubled on left side every day, especially against a lefty in his ballpark. So I like St. Louis a little bit.
Any interest in Waka?
Never.
Never. All right. I mean, I agree. I don't like this guy, but so far he's done well. The exit velocity, the distance is very low. His team's struggling. He's 7-2. He's in the SP2 conversation, but I agree. Like, I'll do my damnedest to try and find somebody else. He's in the conversation. If Schebler is in the lineup, I don't mind him and Votto, Billy Hamilton from the red side, but that'll have too much of that. And I agree. The Cardinals stack is definitely viable. They'll probably be somewhat popular tomorrow. And I like more of the bottom, middle part of the order. Ozuna, Martinez, Molina, Yorko, DeJong. Maybe you skip like 1, 2, 3 and get it different.
I skipped over Ozuna. Ozuna versus lefty, I could take anytime.
Yeah. I like him a lot, actually, tomorrow. Next game, we got Coors Field, the Chicago Cubs, and Kyle Hendricks taking on the Colorado Rockies and John Gray. 46-degree temps, pretty high humidity, and 11-mile-per-hour wind blowing to left. You gonna play Coors?
I say F Coors, and I will have 0. I will have not one bat in this game. Not one. Not a pitcher, not a bat, nothing. F Coors. I'll go to war somewhere else.
I mean, I want to agree. I think you can't just eliminate them.
But if you're you're going to play multiple lineups. So
yeah, I'm gonna.
If you're playing multiple lineups, you should. Like, you could stack any team in Coors any day.
Yep. And I mean, I like both sides. Like, John Gray, he can get hit. There's tons of lefties on the Cubs. Happ, Bryant, Rizzo, Schwarber. And then on the Rockies, Charlie Blackmon's one of the hottest hitters in baseball, besides like Betts right now. And Arenado will be back. Cargo. I don't mind either side, but I agree. Like, I think it's going to be popular, and a lot of times the first game in Coors kind of disappoints. And these two pitchers are both decent, so we'll see like what the pulse is tomorrow. If it feels like it's going to be lower than usual, maybe I will play it some more. But if it's going to be popular, I agree. I'd probably lean more towards fading and be underweight.
Well, I gotta make one statement here.
Go ahead.
If Ian Happ does make the lineup on FanDuel at 3-4, I'd probably play him. But he's gonna be popular. He's like the cheapest bat here that you want to really play. And that's a righty. I love Ian Happ against righties.
Even Rizzo at 4K is really cheap on FanDuel.
That is cheap. Yeah, I agree. I don't want it.
2 Hayward 3K, like, Jesus.
They are really cheap on FanDuel, except Bryant and Blackmon. Really, Arenado is 4.8, so that's up there. But 3-4 for Ian Happ against a righty in Coors is too cheap, in my opinion.
Yeah. And
Contreras is 3.5, but he's a catcher, so on FanDuel I don't really play them. But
yeah, you'll find that 500 for Rizzo. But yeah, we'll see what the pulse is tomorrow. But these two are decent pitchers. Hendricks keeps the ball down. Like, I don't love just running to the bats here. Next game we got is the San Diego Padres and Tyson Ross taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. And right now they have Matt Koch as the projected pitcher. The Diamondbacks are minus 128 favorites. The total is 9. Looks like it'll be 78 degrees with light wind blowing in from center. Interest?
Yeah. The D-backs really let me down today. I mean, old Chalk Marte home run, which I never thought I was going to get, and Pollock home run really helped me min cash, but both of these pitchers are just god awful. But Ross has been okay, I guess. If Matt Koch is starting, I like the Padres. I think Villanueva is not going to play, right? I'm pretty sure.
He's in the projected lineup.
He's hurt.
Boy Renfroe isn't.
Yeah, no, Renfroe I don't think plays against a righty, which sucks. But Hosmer is okay. He's not a guy I not like to play a lot because he doesn't really hit home runs. But in this park, I think he can hit a home run, so he's okay. Perella, I like. It just sucks it's a righty. I wish it was a lefty. Hedges, Perella, Villanueva if he played, but I don't think he is. Freddie Galvis, I like to against a righty.
Sure.
Spangenberg always has home run upside against a righty as well, and nobody ever plays him.
I gotta look into this Koch kid. Don't know enough, but I think he's got K upside. I gotta see what he throws. He may be in play in tournaments as an SP2 that cheap and go double.
How much is his price on
or 8? So you can play him with one of the better pitchers and stack cores. So I gotta take a look. Like San Diego can strike out. We'll see what kind of ump he gets and what he throws, but I know he is a high K guy. Like his K's per inning was actually decent from what I saw. So I got to dive in.
He has hold on. Oh no, never mind. He had 33% K percentage.
Probably 2 games or something.
Yeah, very small sample size last year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to hit. It's 60%, but it's hard to go off of 9 games. You know what I'm saying? You got to look more.
Yep. I got to take a look, see how he was pitching in the preseason or in the minors, but I'm not crossing him off just yet. He's viable. It's the Padres on the road, so we'll see. If he throws a lot of breaking stuff, if he's got,
yes,
stuff,
that's maybe something you definitely have to look at. If he just throws straight fastballs, but if he's moving in it, got a curveball, that's what you want to attack the Padres with.
Yep, I agree. The Diamondbacks lineup, I think, is viable here against Tyson Ross. I like guys like Peralta, Marte, Goldie, AJ Pollock. I really like Daniel Descalzo. Even Alex Avila is cheap, and he's a catcher that used to be able to hit pretty well, so I don't mind that. Jared Dyson may sneak into the lineup as a cheap guy. I think I'm going to look at the Diamondbacks a little against Ross. And, I'll get back to you tomorrow during the Y stream if I like this pitcher at all.
There was a point last year where Avila was
crushing early in the year.
Crushing right-handed pitchers.
Yep. All right.
But Peralta is probably my favorite.
Yeah, I think he's going to get going soon, so this is a good spot for him. And I like Pollock a lot. He's hitting really well so far. 3 games left. We got your Boston Red Sox and Drew Pomerantz taking on Kendall Graveman. Right now, the Red Sox are minus 125 favorites. We've got a 9-run total, 58 degrees, and no winds to speak of. You playing your Sox?
What's Red Sox projected run total? 4.8?
Yeah.
They're going to score at least 8. They score at least 8 every day. They're facing Graveman. They could score 15. They will undoubtedly be my favorite stack of the day. I wrote an article today. I don't give a damn if it's Jesus Christ himself on the mound. You stack them every day. Every day. Kendall Graveman sucks D. I will stack the hell. On DK, I'm gonna get 5 of them in On FanDuel, I'm going to get 4 of them in there. I just don't know which ones yet. But I'll take all of them. 1 through 9. I don't care who's in the lineup. I don't care. Stack the Red Sox every single day. That's all I got to say.
Play JD Martinez if you do.
Every day. Oh, my God.
What about the A's or Drew Pomeranz?
I wish he would. I like the righties so much better for the A's. Crush can still crush lefties. People think that like, he can't hit lefties. He can still crush lefties, like he'll crush righties. He's my favorite bat. Like over the last 2 years, he has a 260 ISO to lefties. I mean, come on, man. Like you're telling me he can't crush lefties? A 260 ISO, pretty big. You know what JD Martinez ISO to righty is? 291. There was a point last year where his ISO to lefties was over 600.
Yeah.
Play JD Martinez.
Quick note on Pomeranz, no pitch restrictions. They'll let him go 105 pitches through 5.1 innings in his rehab start recently. Showed some command issues, 9 walks in 9.1 innings in rehab starts. That's worse.
Oh, that does make me like Oakland more. I was about to say, I don't really want to play them. But if they're going to get on base, yeah, I like them some.
Yeah, I think both these lineups are in play.
Jed Lowry.
If Pomeranz going to be walking guys and then these power bats can get on in RBI situations, it's viable. Canha, Chris Davis, Chapman, even Olsen, because you may get Drew Pomeranz out early. I like both bats. I definitely like the Red Sox. I'm going to ride them. You're right. They're just really hot right now. Betts and JD are just killing the ball. So they'll probably be lower owned too. They're late game. There's other good spots. So I definitely like the Red Sox tomorrow, and I'll mix in some of the A's. And don't think I'll use either of these pitchers.
I never thought I'd see the day with Jed Lowry the same price as Chris Davis.
That's crazy. That really is crazy. But he is on fire, so
no doubt.
Don't ignore him. Next game we got San Francisco Giants taking on the Los Angeles Angels. Jeff Samardzija making his debut, taking on Andrew Heaney. The Angels are minus 140 favorites. Looks like 65-degree temp. 7-mile-per-hour winds blowing out, and we've got a total here of 8.5. What do you think?
I don't know, man. I like the Angels, of course. Like Samardzija's first start, he's a lefty. Like you can give me Trout. I don't want to play Upton right now. Like he's a lefty smasher, but I only play him when he's hot, and he's just not that right now.
He's not facing a lefty.
Samardzija. Oh yeah, I'm an idiot. Yeah, I definitely don't want to play him then.
Yeah.
But they're just expensive, and there's so many games. I kind of want to attack him because it's his first game, but I don't know, man. I don't think I will. I don't think I'm going to. And on the other side, I like the Giants much better against lefties, but it's the Giants. I mean, on a 15-game slate, I'm not trying to stack a team that doesn't have major upside.
Yeah. I mean, I am seeing some positive, like, hard hit, batted ball numbers for some of the Giants, like McCutchen, Posey, Longoria, but I doubt it. They are cheap, so they fit that, cheap backup stack with good pitchers and another good team, but the only guy, if he plays tomorrow, Mac Williamson, I believe he just got called up versus a lefty. He's been crushing in the minors. I would play him as a one-off. He's very cheap, 2.6 on DK. Otherwise, I don't really have much interest. Maybe if I dig into Samardzija and he's been pitching well, I could actually take a stab at him with a good ump. He's cheap as an SP2. But that's really it. I don't think I have much interest. The last game, the pitching duel for the ages. We've got the Washington Nats and Max Scherzer Taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers and Clayton Kershaw. We've got a 6 over/under, and the Dodgers are -140 favorites. Nice night. Looks like 70 degrees and mild winds blowing out the center. What are you doing here?
While I like to play Dodgers against righties, this is a different kind of righty. But I will tell you, Max Scherzer is about average against lefties. And he is maybe the most dominant pitcher in the history of baseball against righties. His numbers against righties are absolutely insane. But he is pretty average to lefties. So I don't mind. And he can get hit hard as well. So I don't mind taking a cheap. They are cheap, right? They're a little down. I don't mind taking a lefty stack of the Dodgers. And I do like Grandal.
Yeah.
Max Scherzer throws hard. If you throw hard to Grandal, you're a righty. I love Grandal. Like, I like Grandal. I think Grandal can hit a home run against them pretty, like, I think that I could see that happening. Like, that's not, like, out of the question. So I like Grandal a good amount.
Scherzer gives up home runs. They're just usually solo. I could see him giving up, 2 home runs and 2 other hits. It's total of 4 hits of the game.
At the same time, though, I like Max Scherzer over Kershaw if I'm going to pitch one.
Scherzer is 12.5. Kershaw's 12.2 on DK.
That just means more is going to go to Kershaw.
I don't know where it's going to go.
It's tough. It
really is.
Like, when you play a pitcher at this price, you really want the win. Like, you just want the extra points. Like, you need that. You need all the points you can get paying these prices.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got to think about this some more. Like, I don't even really know how good Kershaw has looked. I know Scherzer like, right now, my thought is Scherzer over Kershaw, but I got to look at it more. We got to see what lineups come out, what kind of ump we got. Like, I think these guys are more viable on DK, a whip site, where you don't really care so much about the win if, it's tied 1-1 or nothing late and they come out. But on FanDuel, I really don't think I'd look at both these guys just because I think the win is, like, very risky. And you can get Verlander for cheaper, Thor for cheaper, a handful of other guys. I don't know. They're both going to be pretty popular. Right now, my instinct on FanDuel would be not to play any of them. Obviously, I'm not going to stack against them. On DraftKings, I might grab one of these guys, depending.
If Rendon plays, I kind of like him. That's really the only bat that I could play on Washington, I think.
Zimmerman's got good BVP.
He does?
Yeah.
He did actually hit. He been hitting the ball kind of hard, getting unlucky, but been striking out a lot, too.
Yeah. There's a lot of strikeouts here, but maybe a couple solo homers. We'll see.
Yeah.
That's going to do it for the 15-game slate. Let's do some top 3 pitchers. Or no, give me your favorite expensive and favorite value pitcher, and then we'll do 3 guys for Don Watch.
I will say Verlander. Does Junis count as a value?
You can count
then
Junis.
I'll say him.
All right. And I will go Thor and Sean Newcomb right now, the same game. And what do you got for dongs? Infield, outfield, and utility.
JD Martinez.
Oh, I was gonna take him.
Oh, my bad. I'll change it.
That's all right. I'll go with Didi Gregorius.
An infielder. If I thought he was gonna pitch to him, I would say him, but I don't think he's gonna pitch to him. Infielder. Damn. I'm gonna say something off the wall here. Eric Hosmer.
Eric Hosmer. Didn't see that one coming, but possible. I'll go Joey Gallo off Felix, not the King Hernandez.
Anytime you pick Eric Hosmer for a dawn contest, just no power there. But It can happen in here.
It can.
And this one is coming really off. This one's coming really, really out of left field. I'm gonna say Yasmani Grandal takes Max Scherzer deep today.
I like that. I like Yasmani Grandal, and I will go with Carlos Gonzalez. Oh, no, we can't use Coors, although I do like him. But I'll go Rhys Hoskins then against Ivan Nova, another fly ball pitcher. This weekend, NASCAR, it's on Saturday night, the Toyota Owners 400. We will let you know when we're going to do the NASCAR live stream, either late Friday or early evening Saturday. Like early morning Saturday. If you haven't checked out Wise Take, we've been on fire lately. Try us out. Day pass, $2.50. If you are watching on YouTube, please click that like button. Give us some positive comments. If you are watching on iTunes or Podbean, please give us some 5-star reviews. If you are watching on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, like and share. That helps the nation do what we do. Cash, thanks for joining me on this huge Friday night slate. Tomorrow, the live stream, CashinDFS Day. Catch us for this slate broken down before lock. Anything you want to say before we get out?
I will say Corey Dickerson also hits a home run today.
I'll take it, and I will say LeBron loses tomorrow. Pacers go up 2-1. For CashinDFS.
That's a good bet.
For myself, for the entire Wise Take Nation, good night.
That is